All right, so we're knitting like crazy.
We're knitting.
And we haven't made any progress whatsoever because it's the same day as the last week's Millcast because you're not really here.
No, really, I'm in, let's see, I'll probably be somewhere between Wisconsin and Minnesota as this airs.
Okay, so you're in Wisconsin and Minnesota, but I'm still here. But
Yes.
but at the moment we're both here because we're pre-recording an episode. Good Lord. Pre-recording an episode so that we don't disappoint and we keep the Millcast going.
Yes, so we've got the knit along going on.
Yeah.
Let's say we're getting all mixed around. I'm Amanda.
I'm sorry, I'm Peggy.
You are here watching the Millcast.
Yes, and it's number 52.
Yes, which actually I think we're going to count as our 1 year anniversary since starting the Millcast. I know there's 54 weeks in a year, right?
No, 52.
Is there 52? I thought there's 54.
No.
I don't know.
That's a deck of cards you're playing with. No, there's 52 weeks in a year.
Okay,
Yeah.
there we go. So but I know we did skip a few weeks throughout the year.
But
so
we're still it's
a
our
1 year.
anniversary.
Yeah, it's our anniversary. So thank you for joining us.
Thank
All
you
right,
very much
I'm
for
gonna
joining
put
us.
this
I
aside.
have to say a line about this though. When you had this idea, let's do a Millcast. I think my memory is that I said I really don't want to be on camera. I really don't like being on camera. And my recall is Amanda goes, "Oh, don't worry about it. No one's really watching anyway."
Yeah, some
right.
people are watching.
Now we know there's some
number
people
of
watching.
people are watching.
So anyway,
thank you for-
happy anniversary to you and I.
Yeah, this is great, and we have a lot of stuff to cover this episode, even though we did pre-record a week prior, so I could take the week off.
Yeah.
But
So we're going to do a
get into
catch-up.
it.
We're going to do a catch-up
Yeah.
on it. So we told you at a couple of Millcasts before, we're always looking to try something new, and we got a bead on 1,000 pounds of raw wool in upstate New York.
Yep.
And one of our challenges is trying to keep our solids going through the process, and it takes a lot more time to do it. And we thought, well, what would happen if we could acquire 1,000 pounds and then send it? There's a company called Chargers down in Jamestown, South Carolina, and we could have it scoured there because we wash wool in 5-pound increments in laundry bags. Well, we can't do that with 1,000 pounds. So if we could take it down there, have them scoured, and bring it back, then we'd have got a head start, and then we could talk about dyeing it and what all would we do with it next. So that experiment began. I drove over to Saratoga Springs where my brother Phil, my younger brother, I'm one of 6, by the way, and this is my youngest brother Phil, who...
Wait, where are you in the mix? I think that's important information.
I'm third.
Okay.
I'm the oldest daughter, but I was the third, so I have 2 older brothers and myself. And then my sister Eileen, who's now working from time to time in the mill.
Yep.
Don't get me started on my family. And then I have a sister Liza and my brother Phil.
There you go.
So 3 girls, 3 boys. Anyway, I went over to Saratoga Springs, stayed the night with Phil and his wife Kirsten, and then Phil and I got up early in the morning and continued driving, frankly, a little south and then west. And I'm going to mispronounce the name. I thought it was pronounced Cobbleskill, and it's not.
Oh, okay. It does look like that.
Yeah, that's why I was calling it. And then I mentioned it at the Fiber Festival, and someone said, it's not Cobbleskill, it's like Kabulskill or something. I will get it right sometime. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. And we got to this really terrific farm, and the snow was falling. And, you say 1,000 pounds, and you think, oh, they're no big whoop. Well,
I do not think that, and I'm just going to jump right in and say, you all don't think that either. We're all working with 100-gram skeins here,
yeah, it's true. It's true. So we had to bag it and then get it tied down on pallets in order for a freight truck to drive it down to South Carolina. So I had pre-ordered these giant, they can be up to 8 or 9 feet tall.
Sausage tubes.
Yeah, big fat sausage tubes. Well, Phil and I, with the help of Gail, she would sort of hand us the fleece, and we're jamming it in. Now, fleece were immaculate, but loaded with lanolin, and so we were both... And then I was standing up on haystacks to be able to get to the top.
Yep.
It took us 4 hours, and we had to do...
In the cold, in the barn.
In the cold, but once you're moving, the hands are moving, and you're going to see a video of Phil trying to lift one of these sausage things up onto the pallet. And so we had 2 different pallets. Each pallet had 4 of these sausage things. They each weigh 125 pounds.
Okay.
And then we had to strap around them
Okay.
up and low, and then strap them down onto the pallet.
Okay.
Not easy.
And did they, so was it secure? Because I know there was some, we've really spoken about it, there was
Right.
some question of how are they even getting down the driveway?
Well, that was the problem. Gail had said she knew that the semi-truck was not going to be able to come down her driveway, and I said, what are we going to do? She goes, well, I'm going to call my neighbor who's got forks.
Okay.
And he's going to lift them, and I was like, there's so much weight on them that if you lift it with a fork, is it going to tip over? What I know is that she got it to the end of the driveway. That was great, but what hadn't happened on the first day, the freight truck did a no-show. Miscommunication. Then they finally showed up the next day,
Okay.
and they took it to their warehouse, and now it's on its way down to Jamestown, and I have emailed them. Chargers. I've
Yep.
emailed them. They've emailed back saying, well, where's the weight sheet?
Ooh.
And I said, I don't know anything about a weight sheet. I can tell you it weighs 1,000 pounds plus the pallet, and I think he'll send me the form. And,
Okay.
it's a live and learn.
Crossing
I
our
don't know
fingers.
how long it will take for Chargers to that was their minimum. You had to have 1,000 pounds, so we had the 1,000 pounds.
Yep.
And we'll see how long it takes, and when it comes back to us, we'll see what the condition's like, and we'll go from there.
Is it for sure the wool we sent them? All of these things.
Right, and we're...
As a teeny
I'm a
tiny
positive
mill,
thinker.
I
I'd
know,
like to think so.
There is a lot that could go, and that was
Yeah.
part of the reason that you wanted to go.
I wanted to go over
in
there.
person to the farm.
Yeah. We could have hired
bag
someone
it.
to bag it, but I feel as though, like if we bought from Gail again, I know the wool, and if there's someone we can hire in the area that wants to pack those things.
I think you were just
Phil,
bored.
what are you doing next year?
You and Phil were just sitting around bored.
Yeah, right.
You needed something in October to
Yeah,
do, or
not-
was it early November? Anyways, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on, but it had to be done.
Wow.
A little bit of driving.
Peg has the energy I cannot even fathom.
Well, it had to get done. And so it got done. It's on its way, and we'll see. We'll keep it.
We'll keep you posted. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I've
yeah.
got an update as well.
Okay.
I was doing, well, first of all, we never talked about what are we wearing. It's
Oh.
important that folks know. What are you wearing?
Well, I'm wearing shoulder season.
Yes, of course you are.
This is shoulder season with the natural gray in the background and one skein of Lookout Ledge.
Yeah.
And, it was a little chilly, and
that was one of our original
Yeah.
samples that we had made. I think
Yeah.
the pattern got tweaked slightly after this was made, but
Right.
it really shows the colors
Yeah.
off beautifully.
Well, it really shows what happens when you're doing, one skein of making tracks, just slowly transitions.
I love
Designed
it.
by Ann Crory, and we love it.
Yeah, aka Ann Thompson,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
is what it says on the pad. But anyways,
Yeah. And you're wearing-
I am wearing our new shop sample of the Knit This hat.
Right.
That says, can you see it? I don't know if I
Yeah,
pulled
yep,
the brim
nope,
up.
knit, pearl, knit, pearl.
Knit pearl in the deep end with
Yep.
a little bit of natural cream.
And what's
farm
fun
fresh.
is the aqua just happens to hit right
Oh,
at
yeah?
your, it's
Are
adorable.
my eyes popping?
Yeah, sure they're popping. Yeah.
So this was the other motif other than the junction fiber mill
Yeah.
motif on the red hat that we have included with
Right.
the pattern, but hopefully you all get
Yeah.
creative and make your own.
Yeah, I hope you join in on the knit along. And,
Yes.
and the vest you're
Oh,
wearing?
the vest. Yeah, it's petite knit. It's the I think it's the Stockholm slipover. I love this piece, and
Yeah.
I kind of forget about it because you got to layer it. I think over like a
Right.
long sleeve, but
Yeah.
I want to knit more vests because they are like all
Yeah.
the fun of wearing a hand knit garment with none of the sleeves.
Yeah. Yeah, you're done way
great.
sooner.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
So-
it's good.
But yeah, my update I was going to share was my class.
Oh.
It has now concluded. As we're recording this, I'm a day away from having the final class, but by the time it airs, my craft studies junction fiber mill collaboration,
Yeah.
it's a sheep to skein class has concluded, and it was fun. It was exhausting.
Yeah.
I will not be offering it for some time again, and it's not because it wasn't a good experience. It's just when you're milling all day,
Yeah.
and then you're milling till 9 o'clock at night with the
Right.
class. It's a lot.
It's a lot. I thought, well,
Yeah, you thought I was nuts.
my face probably said that, right? Because I would
Yeah.
I'd suck at poker. But I tried to say nothing, but I thought, are you crazy?
Well,
But-
the thing is, the original syllabus I sort of dreamt up for the class was like, okay, we'll be in the mill, we'll make we'll scour, pick, card, pin draft,
Yeah.
and then we'll take the roving and we'll just sit around hand spinning for the last 3 classes. Well, I'm not a phenomenal hand spinner for reasons of I bought a mill about 6 weeks into learning how to spin.
Right.
So I just never really continued with it. So
Yeah.
I thankfully, Kathleen Peters, who's a local artist,
Yep.
helped me out with the hand spinning class. We still did that.
Yeah.
But the class voted that they thought it would be more interesting to actually get on the spinner.
Right.
Which I was like, I don't know, because you
Okay.
you get it set up, it's running,
Yeah.
and there's not a lot of twiddling thumbs at that
Yeah.
point. So the last, second to last class, we got them on the spinner, and oh boy, teaching 7 people to get the spinner up and running is, everyone is frustrated because
Yeah.
you remember.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It is like Peg had to stop drinking coffee.
It's true. I did
For a while.
Yeah.
When we were learning to spin, and here's these 7 students, but you know what? They all got it going.
It's good.
Which is
That's
actually
good.
incredible. So, anyways, they got some machine, spinning experience out of it as well.
That's good.
Applicable to, I don't know, apply for a job at the mills.
Right. We're not stupid. We're seeding the
Yeah, seeding the talent,
help.
the
Right.
local talent
Yeah.
pool. So thank you everyone who signed up for the class. If you watched the Millcast, it was fun to do, but I don't know when the next one will be. It was
never say never.
It's
but
definitely
not soon.
a never
Yeah.
say never, but not
Yeah.
right away. So yes, do you want to talk about a piece of machinery?
Yeah. The spinner. It's not here.
Yet,
But it's coming. We know it got to Boston. What else do we know? We had a date where it was being picked up
It
to
was
be taken.
possibly going to arrive on November 11th to our rigging company.
To the
but
rigging
I
company.
got word at the point of recording. The word was don't book it with the rigging company yet. So we have a quote from the rigging company.
Right.
We have permission to have it delivered there. Reason being, when these things come off the ship, it's a little tenuous about exactly what date that is, and then what exact time they're going to show up.
Right.
At their
And just to be
arrival.
clear, the rigging company is the group that's going to bring it down to the mill. But there's a separate.
They the goal of the rigging company is for them to just install it. So we originally thought we just ship it to the mill, they'll meet us here, they'll install it. But what we came to learn is because there's tightness in the rigging company's schedule. If something happened where it didn't get off the ship in
Right.
time, didn't get on the highway in time, didn't arrive here in time, we would be
Screwing
kind of
up their
screwed.
schedule, right.
So they said, hey, this is what you should do. Actually, that's going to swing right by White River Junction, keep going to the Burlington
Right. So a separate
area.
company, a separate freight company is taking it to.
Yeah, the one the Italians hired, like the Ramella.
Right, Ramella hired.
Yeah.
They're going to take it to the rigging company, and when the rigging
Yes.
company can schedule it, they'll then come
Yep.
down to us.
So it'll sit in its little crate, all
Right.
nailed shut in the Burlington area until
And-
DMAG, our awesome rigging company, can bring it to
can
us.
bring
so,
it down. And the good news is they've done it before.
Yes.
So they know what
They
this
know this
means.
specific
Yeah.
spinner.
It's good. It's
We
good.
trust them. It will be
Yeah.
fine. You and I still have some homework to do, though. We have to
Oh,
figure out
Where it's going to go and what has
needs
to
to
move. Yeah. Well, that'll be easy.
People look
Yeah.
around like, oh,
Yeah,
where's
one
it
more.
gonna
Where are you going to put
go
it?
in
Yeah,
here?
it'll
We
work
have a
in.
plan.
We'll get it. Hey, we got to share a story is the way to put it. We got to tell you about someone who's been
a patron.
a
Of the mill.
patron. There we go. She has bought a tremendous amount of yarn from us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, tremendous, to the point where we both said, "Should there be an intervention?"
Should we call her family?
Yeah, it was crazy, and we're not going to say no.
Oh, we
we'll
are
send you the
very
yarn.
thankful.
But we got an email from this person that blew us away.
Mm-hmm.
Blew us away, and now we know why. It makes me weepy.
Yes.
She has been knitting for people in need. She's been knitting cows and hats for a variety of charities in
the
her
Midwest.
area in the Midwest,
Yep.
in the Chicago area, and donating Junction Fiber Mill hats and cows and whatnot
Yep.
for folks who need to stay warm in the winter. And they're beautiful. We are seeing a picture of some of the work that she did, and we just want to say, you're one impressive lady.
Yes, and thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Yeah.
supporting the mill throughout. I think
Yeah.
from the jump, really, on
Yeah.
when we started doing direct-to-consumer yarn.
Yeah, I'm not going to assume that you're knit a few things for yourself, but it's quite impressive what you've been knitting for
I
others.
agree. Yes, and
Yeah.
super generous. So
Very cool.
yeah, shout out to you.
Yeah.
Well, we spoke a bit about the knit along, the lack thereof of progress. I think in real time when you're watching this, Peggy and I will both be hopefully hitting the letters.
Yeah, I will have to have decided what I'm going to spell out. I don't know yet, but it will be, it'll be something.
Yes, and so
you don't have a clue. That's what it'll read. You don't have a clue all the way around. Yeah.
So we hope that you are enjoying the knit along.
Yeah, I hope you're joining us in the knit along.
Yes, it goes through I think December 12th, so you still have some time if you're watching this now to get into it.
Right, and remind people how they share what they finished.
Yeah, so throughout the process and when you're finished, whatever, you can put them on Instagram with the tag JFMKAL. But we have a contest running as part of the knit along.
Yeah.
It's sort of a submit your finished project, and we will enter you to win a prize. It'll be a bag of yarn from us. The way to do that is through a Google form, which is on our website. If you go to the knit along page, there'll be a link there. It should be super easy to fill out, but if you have any issues with it, just send us an email with a photo and your name and your shipping address, and we will enter you that way as well. So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So we've been busy in the mill.
Yes.
We continue to work on a lot of custom processing orders, and you've got a lovely one to show.
Yes, this is a Shetland yarn that we made for a customer, and it's just so squishy. It's a morit. It looks almost like a gray, but it's cool morit. Yeah. Morit is the natural sheep colored brown that they're. Did I get that correct?
Yeah, I think with Shetland, Morit may take on a slightly different meaning. Okay. Because Shetland has so many different colorways.
Well, it's super soft. Feel this.
Yeah, this reminds me. A couple weeks ago, I think we did a 3-ply Shetland that does. Yeah, this is really, it's lovely. Yeah, really lovely. And again, this is a custom processing order, so you're falling in love with something that you can't buy.
Okay, but hold that phone because I need to grab. Oh, we were going to talk about one other yarn. So.
Yeah.
Okay. I just forgot to grab a skate.
She's coming back.
Okay.
These pre-recorded ones.
This is our new. It's been online for a while now. By the time you're seeing this, but I wanted to share with you our brand new addition to the Farm Fresh line.
Yes.
This is the Border Leicester Dorset blend.
That's right.
It's a 2-ply. It is made to go with our making tracks and our other solids in the Farm Fresh line. So it's spun at the same grist, and it looks so nice and naturally creamy, which is what we like. This would go great in this hat.
That'd be really nice. So again, there was another farm that had reached out to us north of us in Reigate, Vermont, and he had just a terrific flock of Border Leicester Dorsets, and we said yes, bring it on over.
So we ended up with this lovely stash of wool. So in addition to our settlement farm, we now have this beautiful mix of Dorset, Border Leicester. And what the Border Leicester gives it that I think the settlement farm doesn't have as much is this luster.
Yeah,
it's
a little bit of a shine to it.
A little bit more of a shine. Yeah. But it's going to knit up lovely. Yeah. So
I know we kind of throw out these different breeds and all, and it's not like you're going to get a test on it, but I guess part of it is we want to make certain you know that sheep, not all sheep are alike. They're different. They have different characteristics, and we try to share some of that with you on the Millcast. And I hope what we're also conveying is it really matters to sheep farms to know that they have a place that will value the fiber that they're growing, and we do.
Yes, and we're finding out so do you, especially when we see you at festivals. Yeah. It's been terrific, really. We've gotten a lot of, especially online orders, we get a lot for the making tracks, which I totally get. It's colorful, it's in your face, it does a lot for you, and saves you time knitting because you don't need to switch skeins. Yeah. But when you get to actually touch and feel this breed-specific local yarn, I think it's just something else, and so we've seen a great response at festivals.
Yeah, and I guess what I'd say is if you find yourself knitting with Farm Fresh, you got to keep in mind there are some sheep on a hillside that
are working all year round to produce
that you're connected to them. Yeah,
and people we've gotten inquiries about our Farm Fresh line. Hey, I got a skein or two of this. I need one more, or when will you have more of this or that? Yeah. It's a once a year thing for most of these sheep.
Yeah, because they're shearing. Right.
You get your clip for the year, and then
Right.
that's what you have. That's all you have. So
Right.
with Savage Heart Farms yarn, your farm, we sold
Yeah.
out pretty quickly, and you won't see it again till I
Yeah.
don't know, April at the earliest. So
Oh yeah, that's right. We won't shear until the third week of March, and it's a once a year thing for our breed. There
And
are
that-
some
that-
breeds that shear twice a year, but not mine.
and
not yours.
even batch to batch, it's going to
Correct.
look different.
Yep.
So you can't
Yep.
necessarily. We're not
Yeah,
going to
that-
call up
that-
the dye house.
That's our
and
little
get
pitch
more.
/ reminder that it starts with sheep.
And I'll link it in the show notes. But if you are curious to learn more about these breeds, a terrific companion thing to have in your
Oh, yeah, the-
library is the Fleece and Fiber source book. I wish I had it.
Deborah Robinson.
There you go.
Yeah. You know why I know her name?
Okay, why?
She went to my alma mater.
Oh, which
Yeah.
is?
Carleton College, Northfield, Minnesota.
But
Yeah.
she did a great work. I think she has a co-author on that as well.
Yes, well,
And
I can't remember.
we
Paula.
will
Yeah.
link it. But
Yeah.
that is like when I first got interested in wool, and Peggy was sort of my sheep mentor, you sort of said, borrow this book, check it out. And
Yeah.
I bought my own copy, and then when we started the mill, we were seeing all these breeds
Yeah.
we didn't know about.
Yeah.
And so
Thumbing through the book going, yeah.
what's the staple length? How crimpy is
Yeah.
it? What's the best use of it? That's a great way to just learn a little
Yeah.
bit more. But as a knitter, when you're looking at different breed specific yarn online and you can't feel it in person to see like the characteristics, or if you just want to know the history of the breed.
Yeah, it's a great book. Great book.
I digress.
Yeah.
Other things to catch people up. What
Yeah.
happened to the skein winder?
It had an accident, like it does. The skein winder.
What does it do, first of all?
Well, skein it takes it off the bobbin and winds it up and creates the skein.
It takes
right?
it in a big loop.
Yeah, so it's big like that, and there are paddles that keep it, taut. And
Yep.
one of the paddles has a screw that had come loose, and unfortunately, it came very loose to the point where the bolt dropped out, which left the wooden paddle able to fly off and snap in a little way. So we were able to repair it.
Yes.
It took some, Todd came in with got some glue and
Yep.
strapped it down, and we're back in business.
Yep, no problem. But I would say
yeah.
it's a blessing in disguise, because I don't know if we even mentioned it on the Millcast.
I'm not sure that we did.
Yeah, which is silly.
We usually tell you everything.
It's our better little like baby in the corner. It hasn't.
Well,
done
it's a
it.
pretty big baby.
I know. So we have in the back of the shop where you can't see it
Our
at all.
current spinner our current skein winder can only do 5 bobbins at a time, but in the back.
Yeah, as we were thinking about expanding the mill, getting this new spinner, we thought we should jump on this. You saw
we had
like
a chance.
Facebook post or something.
Yeah,
about
we had a chance to buy one that was in Michigan, and that's where I
think it's
began to learn about
Stonehenge.
freight, moving things on by freight.
Yeah, Peggy's project. She got it shipped from Michigan to here. It's I believe Stonehenge is the maker.
Stonehenge, yep.
And so they make an 8 like an 8 bobbin skein winder,
Right.
which is 1-to-1 with our current spinner.
Right, we have 8 bobbins on the
So
spinner.
we didn't really know how to use it. We've just sort of been ignoring it, because when we skein wind, we're usually doing other things. It's
In
like,
the mill, and
it makes sense to do it right behind the spinner, because you can keep an eye on
2
it.
things at once, right?
Anyways, I figured out how to make it work, and
Yeah, because the one with the broken paddle was going to be out of commission, and we got to keep things going.
well, and we didn't have enough bobbins, so
That's right,
it would
we
have been
didn't.
fine for the yarn to sit there for a day or two, but then the spinner would have had to, it backs
and we
up.
always want the spinner spinning, except when we're recording a Millcast. But
Right.
yes.
So, anyways, I figured out it was very simple. It's it's slightly, I think, bigger skeins. It's like a 2-yard circumference
Yep.
versus I don't even know what this is.
This is 75%.
Well, this is taken off on that. So this is 2 yards. You can see it's a reasonable size.
Yeah.
But figured out how to get it up and running. And the day that I had it up and running, my daughter was out of daycare because there was some virus or something going around. But anyway, she came by with her dad.
Yeah.
And she's now getting to that age where you can really tell them stuff and they know what it means. So she came in wearing an adorable outfit. And I thought Cody should get a picture of her helping me with the skein winder. So here's a little video of Maeve assisting me on the skein winder. Okay, Maeve, bring me a bobbin. Thank you. Okay, will you put this one back? Good job. Yeah.
Pretty cute.
I know, it's only a matter of time before she's working in this mill for real.
Absolutely. Those small fingers.
She loved it though.
Yeah.
She loves to have a task. That's
yeah.
what's great.
Yeah.
But there was also an Easter egg hidden in that
there
video.
was. Yeah.
I don't know who caught it, but this is my official fun announcement to the Millcast audience that I am expecting my second child.
So great, so
Yeah.
great.
So-
And when do you do?
March 2nd. So
That is not too far off.
I will be nearing my third trimester by the time this airs, which is pretty wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's great news.
Yeah, so Maeve will have a little sibling. We do know the sex of the baby. We didn't want to find out. We found out, but we're not telling other people.
Yeah,
so.
you found out by mistake?
Yeah, I guess these things happen. We did the genetic testing to test for all sorts of
Yeah.
abnormalities, and it came. We said, we checked the box. Don't tell us, because
Yeah.
we didn't know if Maeve we liked that.
Yeah.
And they came back with it.
Oh.
Thankfully, it wasn't the midwives' fault. They had proved they keyed it in correctly, so
Yeah.
they sort of told the company, and the company gave us our testing for free, which is, I guess, I'm sorry, but
Yeah, well, it's
Nah.
not, yeah, that's, okay.
But it is what it is.
That's so minor.
It's
Yeah.
so minor. Anyways, the baby seems healthy. We're thrilled. So,
That's great.
Yeah, and
Great
the mill,
news.
thankfully, is in a great place for me to go on maternity
Yeah.
leave again in a
Yeah.
few months.
Yeah, we'll have the new spinner in and we'll have figured it out.
Yeah, and the team has just been on fire.
Yeah.
Last time I took whole 3 months off with Maeve, and you and Anastasia were kicking butt here, and
Yeah.
now I don't expect anything differently. So
No.
yeah,
You got to have your priorities, and family trumps job and career, and yeah.
it's all good. It's all part of
very
the
good.
same pie.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good.
But
Yeah. So, you're having another baby. A year has gone by, and since we started this Millcast, and
Yep.
life just clickety clack marches on.
So it seemed like we should celebrate.
Yes,
Here's
we are
my
doing.
segue.
We're doing a little celebrating.
So the celebration that we want to extend to all of you is for 1 week only. We're gonna do a 15% off of the online store for Millcast watchers. So we're not gonna write the code anywhere.
Nope,
We're
it's not going to be in the newsletter.
It'll show up on the screen while we're talking about it here. But use the code Millcast15, and you're gonna get 15% off
Yeah.
your next order between now and the next episode.
And in the next episode, that's just sort of a thanks for being on the Millcast journey with us.
Yeah. Oh, and
Yeah.
if you use that code, we will also include a Millcast sticker
Yeah,
with your order.
the
as well.
Millcast sticker is hilarious. I did have someone at a festival say, "Oh, I like the ladybug," and I was like, "Huh, ladybug?"
It looks like knitting needles also.
Yeah, it's our logo with two little TV antennas. It's adorable and
Yeah.
shiny.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very good news. I've known for a little while, to be honest.
Well, she had it. It always happens. I get pregnant in the summer, and then I feel really sick when it's 80 degrees in the mill, and yeah.
Was it something that you ate? No. Anyway.
So
Yeah. Well, I hope you're having a great time in Milwaukee or in Wisconsin and Minnesota.
Thank you. I hope
Yeah.
that the open house went super well, because we'll have to do a recap the following week.
Yeah, it's going to It's All right,
and
guys.
save the date, December 15th.
Yeah,
will
December
be our
15th.
final open house of the year. It's going to be holiday themed. So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
we'll look forward to seeing you then. All right.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.